Hi, this is Mark Frechette from Georgetown County School District, and I wanted to give you a brief introduction to a great interactive whiteboard or a collaboration space called Jamboard. If you're unfamiliar with Jamboard, you can see here I have several different templates that I've used and found on the website, and just different examples of graphic organizers, again, are workspaces that students and teachers have collaborated on. So today I'm going to show you the basics, as well as showing you how to go ahead and set a background in order to lock images, which is kind of a new feature that they have included now in Jamboard in one of their updates. So if you're unfamiliar with Jamboard, it's real simple to get there. All you're going to do is, again, once you sign into your Google Workspace account, you'll click on the waffle and then just scroll down until you find Jamboard. And then you can just go ahead and click on Jamboard, and that'll take you to your Jamboard page. If you haven't created any Jamboards recently, or this is your first time in it, then yours may look a little different than mine without all of these tiles. But to get started, it's real simple. You just come down to the little plus, you'll click on the new Jam, and then you'll notice that it is untitled, just like all of the other Google Workspace apps. So I'm just going to click on this and I'm going to name it. Once I've typed in a name, I just hit OK, and you'll see that now it is renamed up here, and it is automatically saved in that Google Workspace. And you'll notice over here, just like everything else in Google Workspace, I can share this and click on it. And again, it's going to give me either a link, so that way I can change the settings and I can have people either be able to just view it. I can allow them to go ahead and have editing rights as well, so they can collaborate. And I can invite people individually, or I can go ahead and grab the link down here. So a quick introduction to this toolbar that you see. I've got this great workspace here. It's basically a whiteboard. I'm going to click on the pen. And when I click on the pen tool and I click on this little arrow, it gives me options. I can have a basic pen, which I'll go ahead and show you. I can go ahead and click on this arrow. I can get a marker if I'd like, and I can change the color. So again, you can see the marker is just a little bit thicker. I can also go to the highlighter tool, and I'll click on the highlighter tool and change its color. And then I can also go to the brush tool. A little pro tip for you: if you are going to do any highlighting of text, which I'll show you later on in this, I would suggest using the brush tool instead of the highlighter. Just for starters, that's, again, it's going to make it easier to kind of see the text underneath it. But again, you can see I can change the colors of any of these, and it's just a great way to go ahead and use those features. There's an eraser tool, so I can click on the eraser tool, and now I can come up here and I could go ahead and I could individually erase these if I wanted to, just by tracing over them, just like any other eraser tool. Down here is the select tool. So that way, if I wanted to select different objects on here, I could do that. Because again, if I was on the brush and I tried to select something, it's going to go ahead and it's going to mark it up. So again, when I'm trying to choose objects, I want to use this selector tool. There are sticky notes, which if I click on a sticky note, you can see I can choose any colors. I can even have no color, so it's kind of transparent. And I could type in a note. Once I do that, you'll notice that a sticky note appears. I can resize this by clicking down here. I can move it by clicking up here. I can also duplicate it by clicking on those three dots, delete it, or edit it if I want to make any changes. And then down here, this is what's great, is I can add an image. So if I come in here and I had an image on my computer, I could go ahead and browse my images and upload it. I could use my camera to go ahead and take an image. And I can even do a Google search. So if I was looking for clip art, could click on that, I could find an apple, and then all of a sudden I could insert that apple. And again, just like the sticky notes, I can click on it, I can resize it. If I wanted to duplicate it, I could just either click on these three dots and have those options, or I could hit Control D, and that's going to duplicate that image, and I can stack them on each other. And then I have shapes down here. If I click on this, you'll see that I have several different options of shapes. And if I'll click on a shape here, and I'll just click and drag in order to get the size of that shape that I wanted to. You'll notice up here that I can change the border color if I wanted to, and I can also change the fill color. So I can add a fill color to it, or I could go ahead and make it transparent. So that way, when I use it and I slide over things, I can go ahead and see those in the background. And then I have your basic text box. Again, I can type in any text that I wanted to here. And with this as well, when I select on it, what I can do is I can resize this. So I can make it a display. I could make it normal size. And again, I could change the font color and also align it. So again, just some basic text features. I can resize this if I wanted to. And again, I could always duplicate this, delete, or order it. So I could send it to the back or front. And then finally, there is the laser pointer. So as I'm moving around, you can see as just like the pen tool, it is going to go ahead and disappear. So if I wanted to bring someone's attention, I could go ahead and use the laser tool. So these are the basic functions. And again, if I want to go ahead and clear anything, I can always choose clear frame right here. Now, what's great about this is besides these basic features and your undo that's over here, you'll also notice that I have what's called the frame bar up here. And if you're familiar with Google Slides, you could think of these as Google Slides. Each one would be its own slide. So if I expand the frame bar, you'll see currently I only have one frame in here. However, I could go ahead and I could add a new frame by hitting the plus, and that's going to give me a new blank frame. If I had a template that I wanted to use like this, what's great is I can click on these three dots and I can duplicate that slide. So that way I could have multiple frames then that students could work on, and I could assign them the same template just on different frames. So that way they could maybe collaborate together on certain frames. So I could say, oh, students A and B, you're going to collaborate on frame 1. Students C and D, you're going to collaborate on frame 2. You get the point. And what's great about this is, again, as I select these, you'll notice that it'll go ahead and take me to that frame. If I automatically just want to create a new clear frame, I can go ahead up here on this arrow. I can click it and it'll give me a new blank frame. If I want to go back, I can go to the previous frames up here. Or if I want to go ahead and I want to select a specific frame, I can choose that drop-down arrow and go directly to that frame. So those are the basics as far as it goes with Jamboard.